Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about what you need to look for when you need an attorney fast. I mean, like yesterday fast. Like you've put off whatever it is that you've put off and you realize that you really actually do need an attorney. Now, this isn't going to be the solve all problem. You got to take a little bit of grain of like a little bit of salt with that, because honestly, the best thing you can ever do when it comes to looking for an attorney is have as much time as possible. But these tips are going to be what you're going to do in order to look for an attorney. Like you needed it. Like, for instance, if you're accused of a crime, or if you've been sued, or if you've got a custody battle that you're dealing with. So these tips are not the best case scenario. These are the down and dirty, the things that you got to get done in order to make sure you have at least a reasonably good outcome. Obviously, the best is to prevent ever having to go to court because, well, let's face it, nobody really wins at court. It typically, and I say this to people publicly, typically the people that win are the attorneys. That's why what I try to do is not avoid court, but avoid having my clients be put in a situation where they have to go to court, because then it's more expensive, it's not as good, and the outcome can be more challenging. So keep that in mind, is that the best attorneys will get you a result without having to sue or be sued, or will, obviously, if there's a crime involved that you want to be careful of, then you're going to need an attorney if you're accused of that pretty much without fail. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Good morning to Marianne. Good morning to Tammy. And let's before we get started, my name is Taylor Darcy from Think Legal, where I help you create the business of your dreams. So welcome. Please remember, we go live Monday through Friday, except for holidays and the occasional, I've got to take care of something, but that's very rare. But tune in live to get your questions answered, to be able to ask things that you wouldn't get if you were just watching it on the replay. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe and like, and that bell icon on YouTube. I know this is being broadcast on YouTube. It's also being broadcast on Facebook. So don't forget to subscribe on YouTube to get updates on when I go live. In the future, not right now, there will be exclusive YouTube only content, but right now I'm publishing to all 4 areas so that you can get a feel for what it is that we talk about, and show up, have a good time. We'll dance, we'll play, there's lots of things that I have in store for you. So don't feel like this is some stodgy, attorney show that you can't have fun with. So that's number 1. Let's go ahead and get started. All right. Welcome. Trying to figure out why I've got a delay. I don't have... That is just so weird. Previous time I had this happen, it was because there was a browser open that shouldn't have been, and it was causing a weird delay. But that is not true in this instance. Well, good times. So, gotta love tech issues. Tammy, I will answer your question at the end. And yeah. So let's talk about the attorney factor first, and I will definitely get to your question. First of all, the number 1 thing is you need to take as much time as you need, but as quick as your situation requires to find an attorney. So obviously, certain instances are going to create more urgency than others. And the number 1 is if you've been accused of a crime. And that is obviously the urgency is going to kind of dictate a little bit about what you're able to do. So keep that in mind that you're that's not always about having as much time as you want, but you should take that time to get what you need. The the next thing that you're going to want to talk to is if you know an attorney, talk to an attorney. Typically, if they don't represent that area of practice, they'll know somebody who does. Most cases fall under that. Now, not always, and if it's a very specialized thing, then we'll do our best. But at the end, sometimes we just don't have that in our network. So you want to make sure that you're focusing on those referrals, because those are where you're going to get the highest likeliness of people that are going to work for you. So that's number one. The next one is going to be bar association, okay, referrals. So like, for instance, in California, San Diego County Bar Association, you're gonna they have a referral program that they've vetted all of the attorneys that are involved there, and so they will send referrals to them based upon your need. So keep that in mind, that you've got a resource there that you may not have elsewhere if for some reason you don't know an attorney or those attorneys don't have them in their network. Okay, so that's number 3. The next, and this is probably like the most common these days, is finding an attorney via Google. I know that sounds funny, but not just via Google, but take a look at their Google My Business page and see their reviews, see if they've gotten results from similar type scenarios. And then you're going to want to check out YouTube, see if any of them are on YouTube, because you can get a feel for them without it taking away from the time that you have to do it. Maybe they can't meet until later. And so this way you've got someone there to, that way you can get somebody there sooner, right? And you've already kind of made up your mind if they've got YouTube videos. The other thing is Facebook. There's lots of businesses or attorneys that are on Facebook that have a very active presence. And so putting it out to your network after your legal network or potential legal network, putting it out to your network on Facebook or Twitter or wherever you hang out the most on social media, use that to give yourself the best likeliness of success when it comes to that particular area, that area of law, because Facebook, social media, a lot of attorneys have presence on there. And I'll be honest with you, the truth is, if they're not on social media, do you want to work with them anyway? And I'm not saying that's the end all be all of that, but I am saying that the old school attorneys that still do paper and pen, they don't even have computers, they're not on social media, they don't have anything to work with, they may not be the right fit for you because of who you are and your individual needs. So take a look at Google referrals, get a better feel for them, YouTube videos, get a feel for who they are, what they do, and if they're a good representation for you. So to get down and dirty, you're going to want to concentrate on practice area and communication practices. So how are they going to communicate with you? Are they going to talk to you? Are they going to email? Are they going to text? Do they only take scheduled phone calls or scheduled meetings? Every attorney that I know has some variation thereof. If they only want to meet in person, that might be great for your initial appointment, but it's not going to be great for your ongoing case if there's a case that's to be had, because the idea that you're always going to have time to meet, to go to their office, find parking if it's in that type of area, and then deal with the crazy that goes with, meeting in person. And with COVID, we kind of had to move to a virtual world. So that are they going to only meet in person? And, everybody's busy these days, lifestyle wise, all of these different things. You really got to be careful about what it is that they're giving you, because if it doesn't fit with your lifestyle, then you're going to be unhappy with the representation. And they might be unhappy with representing you because you won't necessarily be the best client for them. If you'd rather meet in person, maybe that's perfect for you. I can't answer that question. But meeting in person is optional these days for a lot of people. In fact, I have clients that I've never met in person. I've only met via Zoom. I've only met via phone call. Some people prefer it. Some people don't. It just depends on the particular attorney and depends on the people, the party that are with it. I try to be as flexible as possible and meet with them in whatever capacity they would like. So that's kind of to give you a context of how I do things. For expediency's sake, a phone call might just have to do. If you truly are needing an attorney urgent, then you're going to have to perhaps move just straight with the phone call. One thing that a lot of clients get that they don't understand, I should say, is that results aren't necessarily the best barometer of a good attorney. And we all want great results, but sometimes it's just not possible. And given your facts and your scenario and opposing counsel, and there's so many variables that go into having a favorable outcome for your matter, that's not the best barometer to decide whether or not you want to hire somebody. How they treat you, how they treat others, how they treat opposing counsel, those are all factors that you want to decide for whether or not they're a good attorney. And you're going to have to kind of check your ego at the door, because sometimes you may not have a case and there'll be a couple of attorneys that might take it anyway, or that you don't have a case and they won't take it, and then others will. So you can't necessarily gauge the merits of things based on that. So again, the practice area and the communication, those are the two things that you're gonna look at when you're gonna look at an attorney. The last thing, and I know this is gonna sound kind of funny, but you're gonna want to pay for a consultation if required, because attorneys get a lot of tire kickers, people that are looking just to get free legal advice, and they have no intention whatsoever of hiring us. So if you are paying for it, then the attorney is not only can give you legal advice, but you're going to find that it's a more forthcoming experience. They're going to be able to give you more information because they're being compensated for it. And we know that you're not a tire kicker, because we get a lot of those. We get a lot of people that are just that's all they have no desire to hire us. And so it's a little frustrating when our time and your time and everybody's time is precious, that, we are expected to give away what's free. And so if you need to pay a consultation fee, be open to doing that. Don't expect necessarily every time a free consultation, because depending on the matter and depending on the attorney, they may not offer it, and you might get a better attorney if you pay for the consultation. Some will apply the consultation fee to the matter, some won't. It just depends on the attorney and their individual practices. So ask before you pay, and so you know what you're getting yourself into. The other thing to look for, and this is kind of a bonus tip, is what are their billing practices? Are they flat rate? Are they contingency? Are they hourly? Flat rates, pretty simple. Do they just charge you one fee no matter what, and then that's all you have to worry about? Is it contingency? Is it based on the amount of money that they recover for you if it's a contingency case? There are certain types of cases that aren't allowed to be contingency, and divorce is one of them, and criminal is another, because there's no way for you to quantify getting released from jail. So if you're in criminal court, you have two options basically. You have a flat rate option for an attorney or an hourly attorney. There's pros and cons to both. Depends on the individual attorney, how much time they have, how much practice they have. That is based on gut and what you're looking for. So in answer to, as we talked earlier, don't forget to hit subscribe and like for more videos later. Anyway, Tammy had a question that she asked, can you sue for a dog bite in Arizona? What is the time frame after the fact? So because I'm a California attorney, I can't answer you specifically in Arizona world, but I can answer you in California. Can you sue for a dog bite? Yes. should you sue for a dog bite? It depends on the dog bite and depends on your Arizona laws. California laws, dog bites are a strict liability. So yes, in California you can. I don't know the law in Arizona, so that I can't answer for you. But if you've been harmed by another person's dog, I would definitely, at the very minimum, consult an attorney for that to ask them if you have a decent case. Again, Arizona might not be a strict liability. You would need to consult an Arizona attorney. If you need a referral, I've got plenty of friends out there that are able to perhaps assist you. So, yeah. Thank you for joining me today. I sincerely appreciate it. And if you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I look forward to getting to know you, and come hang out. We'll have more interactive and more things going on. So please, I look forward to hearing from you, and have a great one. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon on YouTube. Talk.